The fourth plenary session of the CCP Central Committee is currently being held in Beijing. On the surface, it's about the 15th five-year plan, but the real spotlight has fallen on Chen Jining. Multiple Hong Kong outlets say he may be brought to Beijing to serve as director of the General Office of the CCP Central Committee, which is the most sensitive power core around Xi Jinping. It manages documents, meetings, and the Central Guard Bureau. If true, it would mean a quiet blood transfusion of power is underway in Zhongnanhai. From rumors that Cai Qi may be eased out to the handshake incident with Wu Haifeng, this meeting may decide the direction of the Xi era. Don't miss the next drop. Subscribe and enable the bell. The fourth plenum is underway in Beijing. What's interesting is that the media focus isn't on the meeting itself, but has shifted to Shanghai Party Secretary Chen Jining. Word is he may be heading to Beijing to take over as director of the General Office of the CCP Central Committee. This position is the most critical around Xi, handling documents and meetings, and also controlling the Central Guard Bureau. Put simply, who gets close to Xi and who is kept outside the door depends on a word from him. If this adjustment is real, then this routine meeting of the fourth plenum may actually be staging a quiet power transfusion. Taiwan's Economic Daily News reported on October 20th that in the CCP's 20th Central Committee fourth plenum, whether by convention or current circumstances, personnel matters should normally be an important part, but this time the meeting is putting primary attention on the 15th five-year plan, with personnel kept low profile. Still, there may be tweaks to a few key posts at the central level. The most eye-catching possibility is moving Shanghai Party Secretary Chen Jining to Beijing to serve as director of the General Office and concurrently join the Secretariat. Because Politburo's Standing Committee member Cai Qi will turn 70 in December, he will no longer concurrently run the day-to-day work of the General Office, focusing instead on the Secretariat and the Central National Security Commission's daily operations. If this report comes true, it would directly touch the very heart of Xi Jinping's power. For friends unfamiliar with CCP politics, you might ask, is a General Office Director really that important? I can tell you with certainty, this post is so important it can determine the life and death of a top leader's political survival. The Emperor's Grand Chamberlain, and the commander of the Palace Guard. The General Office of the Central Committee, Zhongban, is not a normal secretarial department. It's the nervous system center of the whole party state. Think of it as the imperial inner court, and its director as the most powerful Grand Chamberlain. How powerful is it? First, all documents and reports submitted to the top leader pass through the General Office. The director decides what the leader sees and doesn't see. Second, all top-level meetings are arranged by the General Office. Who attends, who doesn't, what the agenda is, it controls it all. Most crucially, the General Office oversees a body that makes all senior officials tremble, the Central Guard Bureau. It's responsible for the personal security of party state leaders. In other words, the director is effectively the commander of the top leader's palace guard. He holds a weapon that can be pointed at anyone. Because this position is so lethal, after the 20th Party Congress, Xi made an unprecedented arrangement. He had his top confidant, Politburo's Standing Committee member Cai Qi, concurrently serve in a post traditionally held by a mere Politburo member. This unusual downgrade of the job title revealed Xi's deep insecurity. He trusts only Cai. Only by handing his personal safety and the party's neural hub to this most loyal lieutenant can he sleep well. So, is Chen Jining another person she can rest easy with? A power player wearing three factional faces. Chen Jining's resume is an outlier in CCP politics. He simultaneously carries at least three major factional backgrounds. Face 1, the Tsinghua clique technocrat. A top scholar with a PhD from Imperial College London, he returned to Tsinghua and under then Tsinghua Party chief Chen Shi, rose rapidly, becoming in 2012 the youngest president of Tsinghua since 1949. This gave him recognition among technocrats and intellectual elites. Face 2, the Fujian Circle, i.e. Xi's camp. Key steps in his career were tightly linked to Xi's confidence. From 2017, he entered Beijing's municipal leadership, partnering for over 5 years with then City Party chief Cai Qi. Together, they pushed controversial policies like clearing out low-end population, the kind of dirty work said to have pleased Xi. He came to be seen as an outer ring, even quasi-core, member of Xi's faction. Face 3, the new landlord of the Shanghai camp. After the 20th Party Congress in 2022, Chen replaced Li Chong as Shanghai Party Secretary, the most powerful local baron's seat. Historically, Shanghai is a springboard to the very top. Taking its helm is a ticket to the summit. So Chen combines a technocrat's professional image, a record of executing Xi's will, and now occupies Shanghai's traditional power high ground. This complex background makes him hard to read. But not long ago, one move of his led the outside world to believe he may not be the Grand Chamberlain Xi wants. Chen's gamble, a handshake that shocked Zhongnanhai. On June 18th at the Lujiazui Forum in Shanghai, a major finance event, Chen pulled a jaw-dropping move. He warmly invited a guest to the stage to stand beside him and jointly unveil the China Capital Markets Society. That guest, Hu Haifeng, Vice Minister of Civil Affairs and son of former party chief Hu Jintao. Friends, this wasn't normal protocol. It was a bold, even provocative political signal. Remember, at the closing session of the 20th Party Congress, the world watched Hu Jintao being half forced out of the hall, widely read as she's public humiliation of his predecessor and the final rout of the Communist Youth League, Tuanpai. Since that day, the Hu family and the Tuanpai became political lepers. Officials avoided them like the plague. Yet in that atmosphere, Chen, a Politburo member and top leader of a direct-administered city, openly, warmly stood with Hu Haifeng. What does that mean? Commentator Tang Jingyuan argues it likely signaled goodwill to Hu and the Tuanpai, even a pledge token. It tells everyone the Hu family isn't completely crushed, the Tuanpai still exists. That move was like striking a match in a gas-filled room, instantly igniting speculation about top-level power struggle. Tang notes that if Chen really replaces Cai Qi, it would be disastrous for Xi. First, it means she is forced to give up absolute control over his personal security, handing the armed nanny Central Guard Bureau to someone who just courted his rivals, politically akin to having a gun at your back. Second, it means the powerful regent Cai Qi is being declawed. Cai not only runs the general office, but also ideology and propaganda, orchestrating Xi's personality cult. Losing Zhongban is like cutting off an arm. Third, it signals Xi's authority is seriously challenged. He's compelled to make major concessions to internal opposition in exchange for a truce. Thus, watch the General Office Director as the clearest weather vane of Xi's stability. If Cai truly gets replaced, a political storm against Xi is imminent. Coup script and historical echoes, two versions for the fourth plenum. Rumors abound. One chilling, subversive version we can call the power reversal script. According to the blogger Xiao Shuojia, this fourth plenum will stage a political reboot. Specifically, 4 Xi Camp Politburo Standing Committee members, Premier Li Chong, General Office Chief Cai Qi, Ideology Czar Wang Huning, and CCDI Head Li Shi, will collectively resign. They would be replaced by a coalition government of various forces. Wang Yang and Hu Chunhua, representing the Tuanpai, would become General Secretary or acting, and Premier. Zhang Yoxia, representing the military, would enter the Standing Committee to steady the gun, and Chen Jining, representing technocrats and local strongmen, would join as well. The Politburo would also be reshuffled, Xi loyalists purged, replaced by reform-tinged professionals. The goal, end Xi's personalist rule and return to Deng-style collective leadership. If true, Xi's fate would mirror Hua Guofeng's, stripped of real power, left a titular, lone ruler. Sounds impossible. Could a central committee, Plenum, topple the top leadership? History says yes. At the 5th plenum of the 11th Central Committee in February 1980, Deng's reformers forced for whateverists, Wang Dongxing, Ji Dengkue Wu De, Chen Shilian, to resign from the Politburo. Notably, Wang Dongxing's post was Mao's Grand Chamberlain, director of the General Office. That move hollowed out Mao's designated successor, Hua Guofeng, and cleared the path for reform. So, using a plenum to complete a bloodless power transfer has precedent. Cold water, the skeptical view. We must stay objective. Many doubt such a radical scenario. Commentator Zhang Tianliang argues plenums are rubber stamps. Big decisions are fixed behind closed doors by a handful at the top, not overturned by hundreds raising hands on sight. A stronger counterpoint comes from a military mouthpiece, the PLA Daily. On the eve of the plenum, it ran consecutive editorials pledging to resolutely heed the command of the party's Central Committee, the Central Military Commission, and Chairman Xi, to always be loyal to, uphold, safeguard, and defend the core. The irony, the Central Military Commission's daily work is chaired by Vice Chairman Zhang Yoxia, the very figure some rumors cast as a key player against Xi. If he's really rebelling, why is the paper he oversees swearing fealty to Xi every day? A contradiction hard to explain. The collapse of Xi's army, the last straw. Amid all the rumor fog, one hard fact cracked the sky, making the whispers less far-fetched. Xi's army, inside the military, has collapsed at the core. On October 17th, the Ministry of National Defense released a terse but explosive notice. CMC Vice Chairman He Weidong, CMC member Miao Hua, and 7 other senior generals were expelled from the party and military for serious violations. This isn't ordinary anti-corruption. He and Miao were widely seen as Xi's most trusted military confidants, the Fu Zhen clique in uniform, whom she promoted rapidly to keep the gun in his own hands. He Weidong became the first sitting CMC vice chair since 1989 to fall. So does this show Xi's power at its zenith, or his rule on a knife's edge? 2 opposing readings. Imperial extremity. Xi can depose crown princes and purge meritorious ministers at will. Cleansing his own confidants ensures absolute purity. That's supreme confidence. Zhang Youxia is purging Xi's men. She has lost the gun. This pre-plenum military purge appears to give reality to the rumors. China at a crossroads, three futures. After sifting conflicting signals, from Chen's ambiguous gesture to Cai's rumored move to the military earthquake, truth seems closer yet more elusive. The official facade of calm contrasts with surging struggle and bloody purges. The fourth plenum may bring a reckoning. At this crossroads, three scripts loom. Script 1. The Emperor strikes back. The plenum ends uneventfully. The communique is boilerplate support for the core. Dissent is crushed. She further consolidates, stronger yet more isolated. The PLA Daily's line proves true. Script 2. Painful compromise. She keeps the core but must concede major power. Perhaps he truly sacrifices Cai Qi and elevates a compromise figure like Chen Jining in exchange for an intra-party truce. China enters a post-strongman phase. She nominally reigns, factions counterbalance, collective leadership returns in a weak form, an era of uncertainty and infighting. Script 3. A black swan. The sensational rumors come true. An anti-Xi alliance springs a successful political ambush at the plenum. Xi's core team is replaced. The political line U-turns, the personality cult ends, and a new, uncertain reform begins. It would be a replay of 1980, an event that shocks the world. Whichever script plays out will profoundly shape China and the world. We are witnessing history, and the answer is near. Which scenario do you think is most likely? Are you optimistic or pessimistic about China's future? Share your predictions in the comments. Please subscribe to our channel and turn on the bell. The moment the fourth plenum communique is released, we'll bring you the deepest, most exclusive analysis. You won't want to miss it.